Going guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, last year, around June-ish, I did a story about this bubblehead kid right here. This guy right here is 14-year-old Jesse Stone from Marion County, Georgia, Reddick, Georgia, to be exact. It's a small town. I think they said it got 500 people in it or less. This guy right here, if you've been keeping up with me for a while, this is the guy that R-worded a 91-year-old woman after he broke in her house. And all right, guys, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back to the original story, let you see it, and then I'll get you caught up of why we're doing the story on him today. Take a look.
And developing at noon, a shocking update to a story from last week. A 14-year-old boy is accused of sexually and physically battering a 91-year-old woman in Marion County. Our Ezzy Castro has the latest.
According to investigators, it was a neighbor surveillance video that helped deputies in this case, as well as DNA evidence, which helped them identify the suspect. Deputies say this is him, 14-year-old Jesse Stone, who was arrested just yesterday. And despite his young age, we are naming him and showing his picture due to the severity of the charges he is now facing. Deputies say it was on June 9th around midnight that Stone entered the 91-year-old's home in Reddick. They say he allegedly beat her, then sexually attacked her before he took off. According to the arrest report, the victim told deputies that a young boy by the name of, quote, Randy John had stopped by her home the day before to talk to her and described him as a good boy. She also said the boy would stop by her home when he was younger, but hadn't done so in a while. Deputies later identified the boy as Stone, and on June 13th, deputies took Stone in for questioning. They say he admitted to entering the victim's home to watch pornography before he sexually abused her.
Right now, one has brought a lot of services for the victim, anything that the victim needs, and help her in any way we can, and that family, and knowing that she has quite a traumatic event that she's dealing with right now.
Last night, Sheriff Billy Woods released a statement that reads in part, "I'm very proud of the hard work that my detectives and forensics team have done on this case to bring about a quick closure. This type of unimaginable violence is still shocking to me after all of my years in law enforcement." As for Stone, he was taken to the Department of Juvenile Justice Center in Marion County. He's now facing charges of sexual battery and burglary. In the studio, Ezzy Castro, getting results. News 6.
Exclusive new audio of a conversation between a teen who deputies say raped a 91-year-old woman at her home and his grandmother.
Now, the audio is from deputies' interrogation of Jesse Stone. West 2's Tony Atkins is here after listening to it. Tony, you also have new video of Stone running away from the scene.
Yeah, Jesse, deputies say this video here shows Jesse Stone running away minutes after that 91-year-old woman was raped. His grandmother ultimately urged him to fess up to the crime.
Deputies say this is 14-year-old Jesse Stone on the run just before midnight in Reddick the night of June 6th. This is after investigators say he broke into a 91-year-old woman's house, watched porn, beat and raped her, and then ran away.
Something spooked him and he ran out, and then once he ran out, she locked the door and then she called us.
Deputies arrested Stone a week later after processing evidence from a lab in-house. This expedited the process, quickly leading deputies to this arrest.
It's a very meticulous process that they do, but a lot of agencies don't have that resource, and it's all their DNA is sent off and you hope for a result, but the results sometimes take a long time. We didn't want that. We didn't have time to leave this person out there on the streets and potentially attacking another victim.
I can't possibly imagine why you would do that. I can't. I've been wrapping my head around it for the last hour.
This is recorded audio from Stone's grandmother in June, pleading for him to confess. We aren't identifying her because she wasn't charged with any crime.
She didn't deserve that. And I think you understand that, right? You're out of my hands now, unfortunately. There's nothing I can do to protect you. Understand? Nothing I can do anymore. You're on your own against the courts.
Months later in November, Stone would ultimately plead guilty in this case, admitting to the crime that put Reddick, a town of about 500 people, in the national headlines. His grandmother hoping he comes out of this a better man.
You can take this era in life and you can grow from this. You understand? You can become a better person than this.
Stone is set to be sentenced in this case on February 7th.
Guys, another example of how the world is going to shit. This dude right here, 14 years old, Jesse Stone, rapes a 91-year-old woman. Now, they have police video of him, you know, the night this happened. Law and Order has it. And I'll leave the link to the description in the description box below. You can hear all the details of what they uncovered when they went to the victim's house that night on police dash cam. And it has the interrogation of him and everything. Everything you need is right there. Link is in the description box. But I'm going to tell you something. When I seen this the first time, I was like, yo, this is crazy as can be. Here he is, 14 years old, and got a sexual fetish for a 91-year-old. And it wasn't even just that. Let me break this down to you from the stuff I seen. He broke into this woman's house. This woman knows him. He used to come over her house when he was smaller, and she remembered him, right? She remembered this boy from coming over her house, and evidently, this is just me thinking of why this all came together. He must have had a crush on her when he was a kid, when she was young. Oh, I guess younger. She's 91, I guess a little bit. Anyway, he breaks in her house late at night when he's supposed to be sleeping his. He gets this idea in his head, gets up, breaks in her home, watches porn. I guess on his phone or wherever. Watches porn. Then goes in the room and attacks her. When he comes in the room and attacks her, she doesn't recognize who he is. He comes in with a hoodie on, and he tries to speak with a Spanish accent. She thought he was a Spanish dude. He came in there under the guise of like he was Spanish. Tried to wrestle with her. He beat her up real bad on the bed. They said it was blood and everything on the bed. The whole crime scene is her room. Goes in there, beats her up. In the fact of trying to rape her, he's trying to get erect at the same time. So what he does is he penetrates her with his hand, and then he runs out of there. 14 years old. Did you hear the grandma? And you'll see that interrogation where she said, my hands are off you. I can't do anything. I can't help you anymore. And that's pivotal and key to me, because that's what I used to tell my sons. I said, you get out here and you mess up really bad and you get arrested. There's nothing I can do as a father to help you or your mother or anybody that cares about you. That right there, once you're in the court's custody, you're under their control. It's nothing we can do. You're incarcerated. We can't do anything. Don't put yourself in that position. Grandma told him right. Hey, maybe this will make you a better person if you get out of this. You go and look at this boy. When you see him, he looks like any other regular kid, goofy as hell. 91-year-old woman. I think he was watching that porn on his phone or wherever he was watching that, got turned up. She's an easy target. It's a woman. Nonetheless, she old, but it's just a woman. He got fantasies in his head. She ain't what he's looking at, but she'll do. And he did what he did to her. This is somebody's grandmother. Somebody's grandmother that's old enough to dispatch him with their bare hands. But he didn't think about that. He was controlled by what's in his loins. I feel nothing for him. We all had crushes on older people, but now it's like, nowadays, it's like nothing to go and try to act on those impulses. No impulse control whatsoever. This is a small town, and he runs and acts a fool in it. Then he's jogging down the street looking stupid as hell with his bubblehead ass. You a kid, you got 12-something that night. Ain't gonna attract attention? Grandmother begging with him. Hey, I don't know why you did this shit, but you need to come clean. Evidently, he came clean, and now he's going to get sentenced first week of February. We'll see how this go. But man, it's like so many different temptations and pulling kids in different directions and them being exposed to things they shouldn't be exposed to. And it's fucking up their way of thinking. No matter how much of a protective hedge you put around children nowadays, there's always some temptation that will reach through that hedge and pull these kids in different directions. And it's upsetting. You know, I don't know what made him do that. I mean, I'm just assuming as a parent looking back at me and like reflective of my age when I was a kid. But I mean, it don't even matter now. You violated somebody. This woman will be dead by the time you get out of prison. She'll be dead. The suspect will be, the victim will be dead. The person you victimized be dead and you still serving time. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.